Hey, I'm Jen Myers with the Kunes and Lake Lawns marketing team, and we're here for another Kunes Car Convo. Today we're picking up Michelle Holtz from Breathe Inc., and we're talking about how they are changing the lives of families who are dealing with cancer. We are picking up Michelle in this 2024 Jeep Compass Latitude. Good morning, Michelle. How are you?
Morning. I'm wonderful.
I am excited for this one.
I am
talking about Breathe. Do you say Breathe Inc. all the time or just Breathe?
Breathe Inc.
Breathe Inc.
Yes.
Breathe Inc. So I'm going to start because this is kind of weird. You know, we do these car combos and most of the time it's like a great organization, which you are. Sometimes the person interviewing doesn't have much of a connection. You know, like we might know them or whatever, but
Sure.
But this is very personal for me, right?
Right.
So, Breathe Inc., you assist families with cancer.
Correct. So we help families with cancer, so people affected by cancer, keep food on their table, a roof over their head, and to help them navigate the healthcare systems.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes people have no experience in healthcare, and so they feel lost. And we also help them through the emotional part. So we want to support people through all the phases of their treatment.
So, of course, I met you because my husband did have cancer. And you were a social worker at the hospital, the oncology social worker at the hospital he was getting treatment.
Yes.
So you connected there.
Yes. What a wonderful, wonderful person.
So I met you at a dinner once because you were Bill's person, not my person,
Yes.
right?
Right.
I met you at a dinner once, but honestly, I met 80 people at that dinner once, and you were busy, so we didn't even talk to each other. So you really came alongside me, though, well, I take that back. You helped us with some insurance things because that's kind of your role as a social worker to help through navigate that sort of stuff.
All aspects of the non-medical pieces. Yes.
Yeah. But then to get really personal, I really met you the day you walked into my house to help me get my husband out of the house for his last week of life at the hospital. So this is very personal to me. Bill and I were very blessed that we didn't really need a lot of help through this.
No, you didn't.
But you did come alongside us. Like I was struggling like, oh, okay, what does this last steps look like, you know? So this is very personal to me. But I love that you started Breathe because you are a social worker in a hospital setting and you do a lot for people. But you're also a little handcuffed because you have a job to do for the hospital, right?
Right.
So how about, how does this get started?
Well, the reason why I started it was because I would meet with individuals who were recently diagnosed. I would hear their story. I could be compassionate, but I didn't have a lot of resources to offer them, especially in Wentworth County. And so over time, meeting some wonderful families and just feeling so restricted and unable to help, I decided I have to do something. It didn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
I contemplated it for about 3 years until it finally, I said, okay, I have to do something. Either I'm going to put this behind me and not do anything, or I need to get started.
Which that would be hard to put it behind you because you're in it every day.
It was. And that wasn't, to be honest with you, that wasn't even a possibility for more than, a second. But the reason I felt that way was I felt like I'm a social worker. Like, what do I know about running a nonprofit? But I had a lot of faith and believed that the right people would come along in my path and help me with the aspects of it that I didn't know or that were not in my skill set. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
It was incredible. Once I declared it and said I'm doing it and put that announcement out on Facebook, it was amazing the people that came alongside me to help me.
Yeah. Okay, before we get too far, I want to say there is a way you can help Breathe Inc. First, you can go to their website, which is
www.breatheinc.org.
and you can help support Michelle anytime with donations or whatever. And they go. And what I love about this charity too is a lot of charities like build buildings or anything or have to do that. You're really just putting money in families that need it, or assisting families where they need it, when they need it, directly.
Yes,
Yeah.
we are helping directly, but we also are looking at the family situation, and we wanted to go beyond a one-time Band-Aid fix,
Sure.
which, those one-time donations to families are helpful. I will absolutely acknowledge that. But we wanted to help them in a more sustainable way, give them that hand up
Yeah.
with what they needed. So whether that was helping them with Social Security disability applications, or applications for other type of assistance, or that long-term emotional support, we wanted to, when they came to the end of their treatment, their cancer journey, help them restore their life back to something that looked similar to what it was before the devastation.
Right. So there is a golf outing October 6th. That's what the impetus of today.
Yeah.
Because there's a quick way you can help and join the golf outing and get to know more.
October 6th, we're very excited. Our inaugural golf outing, which we will make an annual event. So you can register online. You can go to Lake Lawn website, or you can go to our website at breatheinc.org. Bring your foursome. If you're not a golfer, that's okay. If you would like to donate for raffles or a silent auction item, would like to volunteer, we would welcome any and all help, and even just sharing the information with your family and friends is an incredible help.
Yeah, and your Breathe Inc. is so relevant because I don't know many people who haven't been one or two people away from cancer.
Yes. Unfortunately, and it seems to be on the rise.
Yeah, right. You shared a story or somebody shared a story at your dinner that I didn't realize. There was a family that was going through, devastating chemo, where it's just debilitating chemo, right?
Yes.
And so they lost jobs, they lost wages, they lost all these stuff, plus going through the cancer. And said that she either said chemo or cancer was not a disability.
Yes, it is not. Yes. So the person you're referring to is someone who went through genetic testing and was what we call BRCA positive. I had BRCA positive genes, and so therefore they're at high risk for other types of cancer. Okay. So these individuals tend to have some surgeries that are prophylactic or help to prevent cancer that may occur in other areas, like having a hysterectomy so that they don't end up with any other type of female cancers.
Yeah.
They're usually breast cancer patients. And unfortunately for these young women, they are usually in the age where they have children at home yet.
Yeah.
And because of the chemotherapy and multiple surgeries, and then sometimes they have to have radiation, it's a long process. Now, they're usually curative, meaning that the cancer can be cured, but it could take 12 months, 18 months, 24 months.
Yeah.
And you can imagine the devastation to their income, to their self-esteem, because a lot of times they go through a lot of body dysmorphia.
Sure.
Until, they can have reconstructive surgery later on. It's a whole process. And so
and having to take care of little kids at the same time.
Right.
Yep.
Yes. And that is not considered a disability according to Social Security. So unfortunately, they just have to figure it out.
And as great as you are in the hospital setting, right? What can you do?
Right.
So I totally appreciate that you're stepping out and doing this because you're like,
Yes.
you know,
What do you do? Or just yesterday, I had a gentleman, he was homeless when he came to us, and we helped him find housing. And he was having his cell phone turned off, which is devastating during treatment because how do you contact a patient? And a lot of times there's changes that happen to schedules or to their chemotherapy. And so having Breathe, I was able to quickly and easily help him pay his phone bill for the next 3 months so that I know while he's going through treatment, he won't have a phone. And during this time, we're figuring out how to help him get an income again.
That's good.
yeah,
If it wasn't for starting Breathe, I would have not had that resource.
you're just kind of stuck. Like, dude, you got to figure out how to call us.
Right.
You know, you need your labs.
Right.
Your labs need to be redone. You got to
Yes,
get it.
exactly.
Oh my gosh, I don't even know where to start with this or keep going with this conversation because we could talk forever. Is my head's going like this. I mean, you see it every day, but just thinking the connections that or the problems that just cascade
Yes, they
is
do.
amazing.
Credit rating is everything. And when you get into these situations, when you have any kind of devastating health condition and you're kind of living on the edge, it just spirals down. And then it's very difficult for people to get out of that situation and bounce back again. Because everything they need to do requires a strong credit rating.
Yeah.
So their insurance, and if they need to get a vehicle, and if they need to get any type of, change in housing. So that's where we come in, is to help people from ending up in bankruptcy, from ending up being financially devastated, but also to be able to have some services along the way, like a massage or going to infrared sauna sessions or float tank sessions, or just learning how to meditate and learning how to have some relaxation techniques to help them work through treatments that are can cause a lot of trauma and stress.
Yeah, right. And you don't just come alongside the patient, you come alongside the caretaker and family.
Yes, we do, because we realize how important that is. Without a strong support system, patients do not do as well, and their outcomes are not as good. And we understand that's extremely stressful. And
Yeah, it is funny. Like I kind of keep it all together, and I can handle a lot.
yes,
And when the last year of Bill's life, he was really mostly independent and everything, but he relied on me for a lot. And I kind of didn't realize till truly when he died, like how much stress I was under. Even when it wasn't, we didn't have the experience where he was bedridden or really in a lot of pain or anything like that, but he just kind of slowly declined. But still, that's a lot, and it's isolating too.
it is, right? Because your whole world becomes taking care of your loved one.
Yeah.
So your whole world revolves around Bill's schedule, Bill's needs.
And then also, he's exhausted, so, at 6:30 at night, he's in bed, and I'm just kind of there, So it's like, your world gets really kind of small, and
I wonder, it must feel like you're losing your person a little bit at a time. Yeah, every time they go through another stage and they have a loss.
yeah,
The less mobility or less
Right.
energy.
yeah,
Or they're uncomfortable or having symptoms from their treatment.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the fact that you can come alongside the family in that time, because there's a lot, it's hard. I mean, I don't know, more families, everybody's different, right? But Bill did not want to talk about that the end might be coming.
No, he did not.
So I kind of had to take that on my own.
And that happens.
So you were a resource for me, like, okay, what's next? He doesn't want to talk about this, you know?
Well, thank you. Yes, and oftentimes that happens in families where, the patient may want to share certain things with people who are not their loved ones and their family because they don't necessarily want it to make you worried or concerned or upset. And then families are the same way. A lot of times there are things you want to share that you don't necessarily want to say in front of your loved one. Because you need to keep it all together and be strong and know what to do in every situation.
Yeah.
Which is just not realistic.
It's not.
Nobody goes,
I should have known that a year ago, right? It's not realistic.
But you did an amazing job. And Phil is such a wonderful, wonderful person with such a strong faith. And he just kept going every day. He would just get up and put one foot in front of the other and just drive when he shouldn't.
But yeah, okay. Well, that's beside the point.
Yes, absolutely. So you should say the golf outing it became a reality because of Bill. He started this before his passing. And we want to honor Bill and other people, especially in this area, that has been affected in a profound way by some individuals that have gone through cancer, unfortunately passed, but have had a profound impact on this community.
Yeah. So if you were, because you still kind of are starting breathing.
Correct.
Yeah. You've certainly been doing the work forever, but kind of
yes,
just expanding what you do. You're like a social worker superhero now because you could do all the things, right?
I don't know about that, but thank you.
I mean, the vision is...
Yes, I have quite a vision.
Yeah.
That is where my talent lies, in being able to look out.
Which is awesome.
And to see what is possible with the right people coming alongside of them.
So let's look forward 5 years. And Breathe Inc. is well funded because you need funding.
Yes.
And frankly, that's what you need, right?
Yes.
You can say all the kind words and point people in the right direction, but you need funding to do that.
Exactly.
So let's say 5 years. Breathe Inc. is well funded because people know about it and we all have a heart for people going through cancer, what does that look like? Like how are you really impacting families and helping it? Do you have a team of people and is it volunteers in the community or what do you think?
Yes, so ideally we would have a team of people and they would be people that would have some type of salary because we all know that it's difficult to do your best work if your time is split between having to pay your bills in one arena and then give 100% of yourself in the capacity that we need for Breathe.
Yes.
So ideally we would have a paid staff and we would have coordinators for that first contact with individuals who apply for assistance.
Great.
And then we would have individuals that would follow them through their entire journey. And I would be able to focus on continually grant writing and building more relationships so that these individuals that come to us can have a holistic experience. So we would be supporting, we have 2 programs that we've written with another local, he's a psychologist by education, but is retired now and has done many other things along the way. But his expertise in psychology, he has helped us to write a program for caregivers, and he has helped us write a program for patients so that we can provide this opportunity virtually and we can provide it in person in the form of support groups. So that emotional piece and helping people through the trauma of a devastating diagnosis like this is so important that is work that we would like to focus more on. I say all the time that, it's kind of like how Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Yeah.
The financial piece of just helping people put food on the table and keep a roof over their head, pay for transportation to get back and forth, and that gas is just the tip of the iceberg for us. There's so much more we can do.
It is, but you do need to kind of get out of that panic mode.
You do.
Yeah,
right.
Right.
So having the financial support would allow us to be able to take somebody who we can help them get Social Security disability if they have, a certain stage of cancer. But there's a 5-month waiting period. So we would like to be able to help those individuals who tend to fall into middle-class individuals who have worked hard and tried to do everything right their entire life, but then out of the blue they get this diagnosis.
Yeah.
And so for 5 months now they have no income.
Right.
It would be wonderful to be able to support those individuals for 5 months until they do have income, and then have a financial person or team that helps them create a budget and helps them learn how to live with their new economic circumstances.
Yeah.
So there's lots of different programming that is near and dear to my heart as a social worker.
Yeah.
I would like to be able to offer.
Yeah. And you also, working in the hospital, not violating HIPAA laws or anything, you can come alongside people and really know what they're going through. And not, like, I know people would ask me, like, what kind of cancer does Bill have? What chemo is he on? And I'm like, no, it was a big long name. You know what I mean? I'm like, he has bladder cancer, but I don't know what chemo. It was a yellow bag,
Absolutely.
But you're able to see kind of all those things and kind of really know what they're up against because you have that knowledge too.
Yes, that's so important, and that sets Breathe apart from other organizations because myself and Shannon have the expertise of working in a cancer center. It's been over 10 years for me. Prior to this, I spent 11 years in hospice, so I understand the different stages of life, the difficult conversations if someone doesn't have a good outcome, or when and if their cancer progresses to that disease. But also for those people who, on the other end of the spectrum, they come in, they get a diagnosis, they think they're just going to be able to work and life's going to continue as normal, and maybe they're a little naive as to what it's going to really look like.
Yeah.
So having the knowledge of the different chemotherapies and the different radiation, having access to the physicians that also share that information, we know at what point someone is going to kind of be down for a bit and not able to function as they have been in their day-to-day life. So my job is I try to stay 10 steps ahead and look out into the future and be prepared to catch them and support them when something unexpected along their journey happens.
Yeah, and that is really helpful because, we dealt with wonderful doctors, but they also try to keep you upbeat and a little optimistic.
Yeah.
And so maybe some things are a little downplayed.
Well, and my philosophy has always been, let's plan for the worst and expect the best.
Yeah, right.
Never to take anyone's hope away, but let's...
No, but it's great that you can come alongside with... If you do have such a great way to come alongside with realism.
Yes, that... Right. Perfect.
Which is important.
Yes. It is important.
Because you can be realistic and encouraging.
Yes, and never lose hope.
Right.
I always tell people there are new treatments coming along every day. We see new drugs on a monthly basis that are coming into the market that have been tested, and they're finding that certain chemotherapies that were used for one type of cancer are effective for other types of cancer. And so if we can help people be supported, be hopeful, have their practical needs taken care of, and then emotionally support them, even if the prognosis doesn't look good up front, we don't know what's going to be available.
No, you don't. Right.
Down the road.
Yeah. Wonderful. So come out and support Breathe Inc. at the golf outing.
Yes,
On
please.
October 6th. It's at Lakeline Resort. You can go to Lakeline Resort, and I'm sure our graphic guys are putting the website right here for you. That's nice to hear, at least I don't have to remember it. But you can register at Lakeline's website. You can also support Breathe Inc. on their website, which is also on the screen, I'm sure, right now for you.
Yes, and don't worry if you're not an avid golfer. We're having fun. This is a scramble. It's a shotgun start at 12:30. We'll have a reception after from 5:30 to 7:30. Lots of prizes and fun games, and so just come out and have a good time with us.
And really look for Breathe Inc. on social media too, and like it and share it. We want to get this word out. Everybody's affected by cancer, and if you're not in the throes of it, you kind of don't know what's going on, but you do, and you're coming alongside people, and I thank you for that.
Thank you so much. I appreciate people like you, Jen and Bill, and it's just been an honor and a privilege to have you allow me to walk that journey.
Thank you.
With you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take a little drive with me.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.